All right, we're live. We are live, and we're talking fantasy football. Anybody that wants to join in, feel free to leave comments. And if you want to come in with us, just tell me. I'll bring you in. Did Blake say whether he wanted to come in or not?
I didn't even tell him.
Okay, all right. And
He was streaming, so
that's fine. Tom will probably be here in a little bit. I think. I don't know. We'll see. See what he says. But anyway, wow, what an interesting week too. That was just crazy. Lots of injuries, huh? Between the first 2 weeks. I mean, we have so much injuries in the NFL. It's just kind of crazy.
That was something.
Important injuries too.
Wow, that's just it. Yeah, I know. I mean,
do you have any updates on McCaffrey? Wonder how he's doing.
4 to 6 weeks.
4 to 6.
I know. Saquon Barkley's the one though, out for the season.
Isn't that so?
I mean, you hate to see those good players when that happens, and who knows? I mean, it's got to be to the fact that they haven't done practices, scrimmages, one-on-ones, all that stuff, and it has to play into it some.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, it has to be that. We've never seen this before.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen people go down, but not. I mean, four of the top players with McCaffrey, Barkley. I mean, Nick Bosa, rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year.
Oh my God! And anybody on San Francisco apparently.
Yeah, that's true.
Like five players or something. That's just ridiculous. But I have to say, though, I mean, even the scores last week, I don't know. Some of them, I mean, obviously, I'll just recap even the Cincinnati-Cleveland game. With Cleveland winning, only one person had Cleveland. I believe that was Mark.
I was just guessing.
I mean, everybody thought Cincinnati was going to beat them, and it turned out that was just kind of crazy, I mean,
Chip did, speaking of that game, Chip did get his mark my words correct, though.
He did, didn't he?
He said Burrow was going to throw for 303 touchdowns.
He did, didn't he?
Exactly that.
He did not hesitate on that, did he? He really went after it. He really did good job, too.
Yeah.
So, but just looking at, let's look at the Bears beat the Giants. I think everybody had that. Yeah. Chicago Bears. Let's see. Green Bay and Detroit Lions. Everybody had Green Bay on that one. I'm going to tell you what, they keep scoring all these points. I mean, I love it for my fantasy team.
Yeah.
Because I got a quarterback and a running back. I'm fine with that. But do you think, I mean, what's interesting is because they had 43 last week and 42 this week, and they almost had to score them. I mean, Minnesota had 34 last week, and Detroit had 21.
Yeah. Well, I'll cut them a little slack in the first game because I think 2 of those touchdowns were actually garbage time touchdowns for the Vikings. Mm-hmm. Like, I think the backups were coming in for the Packers. And then once again, when you can kind of do the math and realize that you've won the game, I don't know how hard you're trying. I think you try the whole game if you got like a shutout going, or if it's like your bitter rival and it's a Monday Night Football game. But I don't know, like a random Sunday game against the Vikings. I mean, first game of the year, I think it was once we got to like 40. I mean, I think we were up 4 scores. So yeah, I just don't. But against the Lions, it was a little bit of a closer game. I feel like I agree with you. They kind of were letting up a little too much to the Lions, and then they just broke it open, and I would imagine the Lions more have stumbled upon them with their own feet rather than the Packers shut them down.
Hey, listen, don't get me wrong. I'm a huge fan.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we got to test this way. I think we have the Saints. Granted, I don't think the Saints look good at all without Michael Thomas, and Breeze age, I think it's showing. I don't know if he's done, but without his stud wide receiver at age 41, that's tough. So
that's Mark's team right there too. That's his team did it, pulled it off. Las Vegas.
Yeah. And they looked really good, honestly.
Yeah.
After the first quarter, the first quarter was kind of touchy. They went down. Carr got sacked a bunch of times and all that, and I was going, oh no, not again. But good coaching, I guess.
I'm sure the coaching has something to do with it.
Yeah, keep Drew on the sideline.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the only reason, God, with everybody going out for the 49ers, because the next game I'm going to talk about is the Niners at the Jets. It was because they were playing the Jets. It's the reason that they won 31-13.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I mean, golly, you lose what? Who was it? It was a quarterback, Mustard.
Mustard or whatever they call him. Bosa for the year.
Bosa for the year.
I feel like the tight end wasn't even playing this week. Kittle,
that's right. He's supposedly maybe coming back this week, but the other tight end did really well for him in his plays. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how sold I am, especially how good the Seahawks look. I don't even know if I'm sold on the 49ers to win it anymore, like their division.
Well, great point. But and you know what? What I love about that division, you got the Cardinals, who are not a slouch team.
Yeah.
Seattle, San Francisco, and I mean that's
Rams.
And the Rams. That's what I'm saying. So every one of those have been to the Super Bowl in the last couple of weeks. No, the last couple of years or whatever. It's crazy, isn't it? What about
the Rams? The Rams look good too, but I just don't think I don't know if they have it. Maybe they do, but
yeah. I mean, they played Philadelphia, so I don't know if it's a true litmus test, but
yeah.
I don't know, but you're right. They did win pretty handily, though. 37 points put up. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yep. And so the other one, here's the shocker to me that Jacksonville almost beat Tennessee for a division game to top the division. I mean, Tennessee won it, but I mean, it was like a last minute win, right?
It was, I think it was like like last drive they went down there. It just doesn't make any, I don't know how the Jaguars are doing it. Like they don't have anybody good on offense, but they're able to score 30 plus points on everybody so far. So,
but their defense didn't look too bad. Actually, you know what? I take that.
They let up a lot to the Titans, who's not really aren't built to score a bunch of points.
That's a good point. Here's my thing with the high score. What did they say? I saw a stat today or in the news or something. Average of 54 points per game. Or something like that between the two teams. That's the highest since 1970.
Yep.
So I think you're right. I think every defense out there is struggling. Hey, Tommy boy.
Hey.
So it's definitely a change there. And then the big one, Dallas Cowboys in Atlanta. Dallas was trying to lose that. They just were trying.
Big picture, because I don't usually want to be like quick to just like, all right, fire the coach. But let's be honest, like you have to fire the coach, right?
For Cowboys?
No,
he just got there. He just got there. Yeah.
The Falcons. I mean, he did it in the Super Bowl, which was embarrassing enough.
Yeah.
But then when he's playing America's team, he does it again. I don't have anything against Dan Quinn, but at some point you have to hold somebody accountable.
Yep.
I know Matt Ryan is he chokes in the big moments, but I feel like if Matt Ryan puts up 49 points or whatever it was, 48 points, it should be good enough to close that game out.
39, yeah.
Yeah, 39. That's just, I don't know. I mean, I know if I was the fan of the Falcons,
sure,
I think I'd be going for the coach's head at this point.
I mean, 570 yards.
They lost that game with no turnovers
in that yard. I know.
That's not bad luck. I don't know if that's letting off the gas too soon. I don't know if that's getting out game plan in the second half, just from a coaching standpoint.
It was really dumb luck. That onside kick, that was just dumb luck. Falcons
That's
played
true.
great.
That's true.
They had no turnovers, and Dallas had 3 turnovers.
And that was all in the freaking first quarter.
Yeah.
So sometimes you worry if you get up that or if you're going to get up 21 points or if you're going to get down 21 points, you want it to be 5 minutes into the game because that literally does give you the entire game to come back.
Yeah.
Because the third quarter is where it's now we're down 21 points. That's kind of tough to come back.
I'm sorry, but I'm going to count that as a turnover. That onside kick to me is a turnover.
I mean, I agree with you to a certain extent because I mean, what were they doing? Like, it was like they were standing around the campfire. Like, I get like the whole point is like don't touch it before 10 yards, but like that's for the other team.
Yeah,
That ball was just like basically laying there at 8 yards.
I think they were trying to go for a penalty or something. I don't know what they're
right.
Okay, we're
like,
gonna let them get a penalty, and then we get it. Whatever.
I guess they were like banking on it not going 10 yards, but like when the ball was literally like basically sitting still, just jump on it, freaking slap it out of bounds. I don't know anything.
Who was I saw somebody on one of the shows? It was hilarious. He says, "I've seen better games to spin the bottle."
Yeah. And then the only time they reacted was to jump on the guy's back that jumped on the ball. It's like the Seahawks like Packers game. You can't catch the guy with the ball.
Daddy, you got all the pop-pops.
Oh, look at this.
Hey, Evie.
You can say, hey.
Hey,
Hi.
Sweet boy.
Evie. Hey, Evie. That's funny.
Daddy, do you have all the popcorn?
what you
All the
doing,
pop. I got
Pop-Pop?
him on like 2 screens so she can see him on both. So I got all the pops.
That's right.
Oh, all the pop.
What about Indianapolis, Minnesota?
Hey,
I mean,
No, hey.
Indianapolis pulled that off.
Yep.
Old Rivers.
Yep.
And
And I think
Kirk Cousins showing his true form. I think he just sucks.
kept Minnesota to the fewest points of any team. 11 points is only one. Yeah, they're like the lowest score this week.
Interesting.
Yeah. I just feel bad for Dalvin at this point. I think Dalvin, because Stephon Diggs got out of there. Lucky for him.
Right.
The defense really isn't as dominant as it once was. I don't really know why necessarily.
They got rid of their pass rush.
Did they? Everson
Hunter,
Griffin?
Everson Griffin, yeah. So the Hunter's it. So they don't have that double punch.
Yeah. Because they like just, I don't know. I feel like they do nothing. Like Dalvin seems to do fine, but then once again, once you get down 2 or 3 scores, a running back's kind of useless.
Hey, Dana Bent's out there watching. You don't have to watch. This is fantasy football. Probably boring for you. Yeah, I tell you. Well, and Tampa Bay, Carolina. What can I say? That stinks. But I lost my words.
What was that?
Cam crying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't cry because he had a good game, even though they lost. I think Tom, you mentioned it. It's about him. It's not about the team, right?
Well, I mean, as far as his reaction. Yeah.
I know that's what I'm saying. As long as he's good, he's fine. But yeah.
Well,
What do you guys think of Tom Brady? Did you like Tom Brady?
Did I like Tom Brady?
How do you think?
That's a little.
You're talking to no one here that likes Tom Brady.
I'm a Raider fan, so I don't like it. I mean, the last thing I wanted was him in Vegas. But I mean, he was on the billboards, like he's coming there, right? And it's like, oh my God. I was just wondering, he was kind of slow. Well, I didn't watch that much of it, but I got kind of slow. But he seemed like he's. I mean, he was formidable for Tom.
Yeah.
For a quarterback. I mean, I don't want to put him on a pedestal, but his performance is okay.
He's getting comfortable with his team. I think that's what a lot of what it is with him. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
He's had the same offensive coordinator and head coach forever. I mean, and to change that, you've got to change your ways a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's just
and then I mean, week 1 he had a tough test in the Saints, and then this week he didn't have his best wide receiver, so that's tough.
Evans?
No, Godwin.
Oh, Godwin.
Because I mean, Evans probably is more talented than Godwin, but Godwin is Brady's type of receiver.
Yeah, that's true.
Actually, that little route runner guy. What's his name? Scotty Miller or something?
Yeah.
Scotty?
Yeah, Jenny picked him up, and
Then he didn't do anything, did he?
he did something. He was doing something at the beginning. I think he dropped another touchdown. Granted, it was a diving catch that.
Yeah.
I mean, he maybe should have come down with or whatever, but but Brady seemed to like him at first at least. But I I think he'll love Godwin. I mean, I don't think Godwin's like necessarily an Edelman. I think he's actually better. But it all come down to if Brady can get used to this like offense, and I think he will. I mean, it's not like if the Saints aren't going to be that great this year, it's not like the Panthers and Falcons are going to give him much of a test on defense necessarily. So,
and Atlanta's really good. They just can't win.
True. Well, they're good on offense.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
they're really, really good.
Showed us what to do against the New Orleans Saints.
What's that?
The Raiders just showed us what to do against the New Orleans
That's
Saints.
true. That is true.
And that always.
That's one thing that I've always respected about, coaches and head coaches and stuff like that is to game plan. And when they can get that plan right, that's a big deal. That's a big deal, and I think that helps and find the weak spots. When you can find the weak spots, that's a big deal. And I really think that's what the Raiders surprised them with. But I also think there was a lot of talent from Waller and just Jacobs or whatever and all that. They're just good.
But surprisingly though, because isn't Drew Brees good at finding the open guy? Yeah. Was Emmanuel Sanders, isn't he a good receiver? Shouldn't he have been able to make something happen with those guys? Even without Thomas.
He usually does. He spreads it out. Yeah, you're right.
He wasn't on the field much. The time of possession was definitely not in it. He was drinking Gatorade, chewing ice,
Yeah.
But then again, you got to think because yes, the Raiders played them really well, but think about that defensive coordinator when he found out he could game plan without Michael Thomas in the lineup.
That's true.
Because Emmanuel Sanders is serviceable at this point in his career. He's still a really good route runner. But, he's not like the guy that's going to, torch you for 10 and 150.
Make the one-handed catch.
I don't know. I think if I was the Raiders coordinator, I would have been like, okay, just let's make sure we don't let Kamara do too much damage.
Yeah.
And what do the Saints really have outside of Michael Thomas? Emmanuel Sanders, I'll give you that. But that's what I'm saying. So you game plan against
Jared
Kamara.
Randall Cobb.
He's with the Texans, but
I know. Yeah,
I just don't know.
With every team,
because Michael Thomas, I think, is a top 3 wide receiver in the league. That's what adds so much. You can't game plan against Michael Thomas and Alvin Kamara.
Right.
But I think when it's okay, well, stop Alvin. Whatever you do, make sure Kamara doesn't do anything. And then Breeze, to be honest, he didn't look great. He could have done more, but maybe his age is showing. Maybe he's a guy that likes having an off season. It's hard to know, or maybe it's time for Jameis,
Maybe somebody punctured him in the lung.
Yeah.
Oh, God, man, that's awful.
That was terrible.
That's awful.
Not good. Ouch.
It might be good for not good for Tyrod, but it might be good for them that they can actually move on to the young potential stud in Herbert. Because, Tyrod, I think we all know what Tyrod is. He's at the very best an average quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, good backup.
So maybe Herbert actually can be a well above average quarterback.
I thought he looked good. Of course, they didn't have a week to plan for him. So
true.
Yeah,
we'll see what he does this week.
I thought another interesting game, Pittsburgh-Denver. Denver kept that close. It was 21-26.
Yep.
I was surprised at that one. I did not think that would be as close as that, especially with all their injured players and whatever else, and new quarterback and third string quarterback, and
Driscoll, wasn't that
Driscoll
played last year for Matthew Stafford, didn't he?
Something.
I think so.
That's a Florida boy. He sucks.
Oh, okay. We're going to individual people. Okay, I got you.
But yeah, I think the Broncos, they seriously seem like that team that's gonna probably win 4 games, but they're gonna be close in 12 of them. It'll be 1-score games to 12, because I feel like that's how they did week 1 too. I feel like they had a close game that then you never thought that they were gonna win, but it never was a blowout. Because even without Von Miller, that defense actually does look pretty good.
Yeah, I was just impressed that they kept as close as they did and scored 3 touchdowns on Pittsburgh defense. That's saying something. It is saying something,
Yeah.
That's like the next game, Buffalo, Miami. I'm really surprised Miami played them. They were within a field goal of tying them. That blew me away. I thought Buffalo was much better than that as far as defense goes. Just my thoughts.
Yep, me too.
Yeah, you always wonder if it was like a trap game, though. Like even for the Bills, I'm not saying they should, and they're an established team, but I think anytime you play the Dolphins or the Jets, you probably go out there like, all right, let's just do our walkthrough, let's just go through the plays, and we'll win by 30.
Kind of a shoe-in kind of thing.
Yeah, and you just kind of start almost planning for next week, or what you're going to do to celebrate after the game. I don't know if it was that because, like I said, the Bills shouldn't be thinking like that because they're not that established, really good team, but.
But I think just because it's in your division, though, you almost can't do that. Because the chance of them winning that or whatever.
And I don't think the Dolphins are like. I don't think they are like. They don't look as bad as like the Jets do to me. The Jets look a hot mess that you don't even know what's going on out there. The Dolphins look like they're a year or two away from being good, but then you know that they're just going to F it up somehow.
Well, they're not going to have. Fitzpatrick's probably his last year, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, but they're the ones that drafted Tua, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Tua was supposed to be, and I'm not saying he should be playing right now because there was no offseason. He was coming off of injury, so I don't think he should be forced back into it. But if Tua is anything like he was in college, they have a stud at quarterback.
Yeah, he'll make something happen there because they've got some.
And they got Davante. Davante's super talented. I don't even know who the running back is anymore.
Gaskin?
Is it Gaskin? I was thinking that Jordan guy went there from Jordan Howard. Is he there?
Where is he?
I wouldn't say he's with the Dolphins, but I don't even remember. But I don't know. I feel like they're hanging around in these games, and I don't know, like maybe a year from now, if Tua is the starter, I believe I'll give Tua a chance. I don't think he's going to fail out like some of these other quarterbacks.
He's with Miami, yes.
Jordan Howard.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's a solid runner. He's nothing special, but that's a good back.
Yeah, for sure.
They need to bring Ricky Williams back.
They got to lighten up on the drug rules.
Exactly. They got to lighten the drug rules to come back. He's probably got eligibility.
I'm pretty sure they're not testing for marijuana anymore, if I remember that correctly.
Oh, they might as well not because they got too much money invested in COVID testing.
Yeah, true. And they're losing.
They allow CBD now. They allow CBD. I think that
really?
one thing. Yeah. So I know that's not a euphoric drug, but that's certainly a stepping stone towards medical.
Yeah.
If you will. I don't know.
CBD, LSD, all that. Yeah, they're allowing everything.
Maybe they should get Marshawn Lynch back. I don't know.
I know.
One of those pitchers, I can't remember his name off the top of my head. One of those pitchers back in the day threw a perfect game on LSD, so maybe it's not that terrible.
He doesn't remember a thing.
Yeah, I don't think he didn't know it
the next
day.
day.
I don't think he remembers a single pitch of it.
It was like Scott Marinovich or whatever.
He was 87 when he finally figured. Somebody told him, and he's like, "What? I did that? What?" Arizona beat the snot out of Washington football team.
Arizona.
I said it. Maybe that can be I didn't really say mark my words at the beginning of the season, but I said I wanted to pick them to beat or to take the West, but I just thought the 49ers were being too good on defense. But I really think the Cardinals can do it. But then again, like we talked about earlier, the whole West looks good. Actually, the 49ers look the worst, but they don't even look terrible.
Yeah.
Well, they lost 8 players or something.
True. So they might look terrible next week, but
2 starters on defense and 3 on offense, including the quarterback, the running back, and the star tight end.
Can they pull kids up from college? I'm just kidding. It might get to that. If you lose that many a game, that's not a good track record.
With them, like a lot of the injuries this week, but that was it wasn't just 2 starters. It was freaking on defense. It was freaking Nick Bosa.
Yeah.
It was your best player on defense. And is George Kittle and I don't know how bad Jimmy G was hurt. I don't know. It didn't seem to be that serious when they were talking about it.
Is he supposed to play?
I don't even know. I haven't looked at like any of them because the only one I knew is that Kittle was supposed to play week 3, but that's because he didn't play at all week 2. So I don't know.
That's just like the next game, Ravens, Houston Texans. They pretty much just beat them as bad too. I don't know. Ravens, it's going to be tough for.
Well, they're getting their test this week.
Oh, what a game that's going to be.
That's going to be super exciting.
That's going to be a great Monday night. Whoever planned that one out did something right. I was talking to Tom about that at lunch today. I was like, that's a good one. But the Chiefs, though, speaking of the Chiefs, letting the Chargers almost.
Yeah.
Well, that was an overtime, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
But
the kicker had to kick like four field goals or something.
And only the one mattered, so.
Yeah.
Garoppolo did not even go to practice today.
Yeah, so maybe it's just I don't know. I feel like no one's practicing this year, though.
That's true.
Probably why they're getting hurt.
That's true.
Could be, buddy.
Seattle beating the Patriots by 5. Yep. That was also a game that could have gone the other way, too.
Real quick, so we can address it on time. You have a question on YouTube chat.
Okay, thanks. Just to make it relevant during the time period of what we're talking about. That's cool. It says Corey Davis, Marquise Brown, or John Brown at flex non-PPR.
Corey Davis, Marquise Brown, or John Brown at flex non-PPR. Corey Davis depends on whether A.J. Brown comes back. Right?
Yeah, like that'll hurt his. Yeah, I mean that's got to play into it. I mean, I like just off of looking at the names without looking at stats or anything. John Brown is the one that pops off of that for me. Especially, I think he's big on yards. Like I think he's not like because in our league, obviously the guys that get a lot of receptions are like because we do PPR, it helps a lot.
Yeah,
but I don't know because I feel like Corey Davis is probably more like he gets more catches. I don't know how is Marquise Brown doing this year.
I don't know who's he with. I don't even know who's
Baltimore's. That's what they call him, Hollywood Brown.
Oh,
well, that should be a good game for Marquise Brown, though. I mean, because they're going to. They're never forced to pass at Baltimore, but this game they might have to, right? So, I think Marquise Brown is pretty set up to have a good game. Corey Davis is a possession guy, right? He can run the little cross routes and that sort of thing. He's not a touchdown guy. John Brown is a touchdown guy, and he's your long pass guy, but the opportunities, he'll get like 5-6 targets. So a flex non-PPR, I would probably go John Brown. I think you're right.
Yeah. And to be honest, John Brown, I just looked at all their stats. They each have 10 receptions, which is kind of crazy. That's the 3 we're talking about. But John Brown has the most yards and the most touchdowns, and actually the most targets out of all of them. So I feel like that's got to be the safest way to go.
I think targets is the key because that turns into numbers. You know, when your quarterback's throwing to you, obviously you have the opportunity.
I will say John Brown probably does have the hardest matchup. I don't because is John Brown the number 1 for Buffalo?
No, that would be Diggs now.
Okay, so Diggs is probably going to see a lot of Ramsey. So actually, that might even be
going against the Rams.
Be better for Brown because Ramsey's the type I think he follows the best receiver around for the most part.
Yeah.
So Brown might even be opened up. And once again, I mean, I think I don't see that game being low scoring. To be honest, I think I would go either John Brown or Marquise Brown just because I think Marquise is going to have to do something for the Ravens to be in that game. But
and obviously Allen's throwing the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, he's throwing it to everybody and just getting lots of yards. Lots and lots of yards. Most yards of what? The first 2 games? Yep. They put him on a stat with like Peyton Manning and whatever else in first.
All right, so are we all on Brown then? John, not Marquise?
Yeah, Brown. Which Brown? Yeah. We're all with Brown. Just go with Brown.
Let's go with Brown.
What can Brown do for you?
I would go John Brown. I'm starting John Brown this week as my third, and so
yeah, I think that's a good bet.
yeah.
There you go. You just helped Tom out. Why'd you do that? You're playing him. No, no,
He just whooped me last week.
I know. Seattle Seahawks and New England Patriots. I already talked about that one a little bit. And then your Raiders and New Orleans. We already talked about that. What a great game. What a great performance. Amazing. Good job. Excellent. Impressed with all the passing yards, obviously, or just yards. That's just crazy. The 570 yards. Who was it in the losing bracket that had Jacksonville Jaguars? They had so many yards with a loss. I think that's why they kept it close. I couldn't believe that Tennessee defense just couldn't hang with them on that. That was impressive with 30 points. It's like you said, Stephen, though. I think you said that. Usually Tennessee's a low scoring game. You know what I'm saying? They just run the ball, do whatever, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I think with Tannehill, it's going to be different. Maybe.
Nah, that team's built around Derrick Henry, as it should be.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, I was just looking at Minshew's stats to see what – I mean, that's 2 incredible games, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
Like the first game, he was 19 for 20, 173 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Sweet,
This game, he was 30 for 45 for 339 yards, 3 touchdowns. He did have 2 picks, which maybe that's why they ended up losing. But, I mean, if he's going to go out and play like that, then, yeah, Jacksonville might win without Fournette or Allen Robinson. I know they got rid of Allen like 2 years ago, but Allen Robinson, I don't even think Chark's playing well yet. So I think Keelan Cole is leading them in targets, I believe. But
that's weird, and I don't think that's going to continue, though. I mean, you've got a talent like Chark. How many targets did he have? I think like 6 for the season or something like that. He's caught every single one. Why you're not, that's not going to continue. That's probably just situational or just game flow or something. Chark's going to.
Or just simply the game plan against Jacksonville. That's probably who I would game plan against is Chark.
Right.
That's who I would try to take out of their game.
Really the only guy that you have to take out because Fournette's gone now, right?
Yeah.
So, and their defense sucks, so they're going to have to throw the ball. So if you take out Chark, that is your best. Yeah. But it'll come around once they start to groove, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, Keelan Cole he's doing his thing, but I don't even know, I'm not rushing out there to get him in fantasy just yet, I don't think. But I mean, maybe if they're gonna throw 45 times a game and be bad on defense, so they might actually, I don't know.
What do you think biggest surprise player or biggest letdown player this week was? If you had to pick one of those or either one of those, who would you say? Who do you think, Mark?
Injuries don't count?
Yeah.
I mean, not really.
Biggest letdown.
Surprise for me, special team, my kicker, the Raiders kicker. I mean, I said they should cut that guy in the offseason. I mean, he's hit everything and 54-yarders. And he's iced the game last week. So he's definitely the biggest surprise as far as the games I've been watching.
Gotcha.
I think.
Who's the kicker that had 2 58-yard field goals? Who was that?
Yeah, one guy.
Right?
Huh?
Somebody had
Was it Butker for Kansas City?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
He's nuts. I mean, that dude can freaking kick.
Yeah.
Isn't that just crazy to think the best team, or at least top 2 team in the league, also has the best freaking kicker that can kick from 65 yards? Like, what?
But don't you think just a little bit, when you're on a great team, doesn't that build your confidence a little bit, and you'll try and do anything and make yourself a little bit better? I mean, I think.
That's a good point.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I could be confident as shit, and I still would make a 60-yarder. So
those guys do, though. Some of those kickers do. They do it in practice all the time. I mean, it's where there's no pressure and nobody's rushing them, and they're on an isolated situation where there's no weather and all that kind of stuff. I mean,
I think people playing around you playing well helps. I mean, even from the kick, you don't want kicking to be the weakness on the team. Where so like if your defense is okay and your offense is incredible, you don't want to be the one that loses games for your team.
Who was it that kicked the 3 field goals or the 2 extra points in the field goal and missed them, and then won with the kick? Was that last week?
Gostkowski.
Yeah, that's right, Gostkowski. Yeah. Oh my God,
he's been doing it for like 400 years.
Yeah, he's like calculating like, so if I miss this one, then I'll miss the next one. That should set me up for the game winner. Okay, that'll be perfect.
All right, so I'm going to have an allowance of 3, let's say 4 for the year.
Yeah.
Hey, go ahead and get them all done. Right. Game 1.
Throw me out there for like a 75-yard kick so we can get that miss out of the way. So that's a wash. Tom,
who's your biggest surprise player or biggest letdown player this week? Who you think?
Oh, I didn't even put any thought into it.
Okay, Steven. I'll go to Steven. Be thinking on that.
I feel like the first one that comes to mind is, well, I kind of have 2, but I'll give it to Leonard Fournette. Not that like I'm surprised that he was able to pop off because we know he's super talented, but they used him, and then honestly they didn't like. He only got like 12 or 13 carries, and he just popped off. So I think he probably just earned himself the starting or at least like the majority of the touches, which I think is really good for Tom Brady. He had like a decent running back in Jones or whatever, but now he's got a stud beside him. So I'll give that. And I was going to say the freaking Cam was the biggest. How accurate that game. That's the most. These 2 games now is the most accurate I've seen Cam Newton ever.
Yeah, what did Tom you and I were saying? Yeah, better in his MVP year, right?
Yeah, because people are going to come out and say the same thing about like they did about you guys were wrong about Cam. How do you feel now? It's like, well, it's a different player.
Yeah,
I don't feel that bad. Yeah, like Cam is incredibly inaccurate throughout his career, or like inconsistent with his accuracy. The same with like Lamar Jackson in college. Lamar Jackson couldn't hit a slant route. But next thing you know, he gets to the pros and he's incredibly accurate. So, I mean, props to Cam and Belichick. But
maybe Belichick. Maybe I don't know what Belichick puts in the punch, but
yeah, I mean, maybe he's just game planning. But once again, that's what I was worried about. Like Brady, people always say like, oh, he dinks and dimes, but like that was the game plan. I didn't think Cam was going to be able to execute because he's not that accurate. But if he's throwing like this, he'll be fine.
I'm going to have to say letdown. As far as letdown player was Drew Brees. I just, for whatever reason, I just felt like, I mean, he did well, he did okay, but it wasn't him. It's almost like he wasn't there. You know, his mind was preoccupied with something else, and kind of what Mark touched on. You know, being against your team and all, you saw this more, but he was over there with a towel around his head, or around his neck and chewing ice. Yeah. It was not really a letdown, more of a surprise, I guess.
Me too.
That's the biggest surprise for me. So
I thought he was going to kill us.
Yeah,
you were pleasantly surprised.
I believe certainly, yeah, but he's still a great player. You know, for whatever reason that the Raiders stepped up. So.
Just another FYI, Dad, you got questions.
Yeah, let's go. Okay. CD or Davante Parker? CD.
Who do Cowboys play?
Cowboys? CD Lamb?
Yeah. The Cowboys play the Seahawks. And Davante, I think Miami plays Jacksonville. That's the Thursday night game.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, that might be a shootout. Miami versus Jacksonville. I don't think there's good defenses there.
Either one.
Obviously the favorite. Yeah, I don't think you can go wrong with either of those because Dak does love CeeDee Lamb, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him become more and more of the offense as the year goes. I don't know if that means it'll be week 3, but he's also done well with in 2 weeks. So, yeah, I think you're safe either way.
Well, I would take Parker because he's going to get more looks. He's going to get more looks than CeeDee Lamb. Than CeeDee Lamb, there's you've got other receivers there that he can and will throw to.
Yeah.
Whereas Davante is going to be Fitzmagic's first look.
Yeah.
And Jacksonville's defense is really bad. So
Seth also said, what is that? Gage Corey Davis or Fant for flex play PPR.
Gage.
I like Gage.
Gage Corey Davis.
Who are they playing this week? The Falcons.
The Falcons and Bears, right?
Oh yeah, I mean I think they should shred that D.
And they're not going to run the ball because they just don't.
No, they don't. They stopped doing that.
Every game, you're going to get 400.
They lost those pages of the playbook for whatever reason.
I've always struggled to put a tight end as my flex. I don't think they usually have as much upside. And I think Fant, if I remember correctly, when I was looking at him, I just pulled up. Yeah, he's been like kind of the touchdowns is what making his fantasy points look good. And then also that is a PPR. So PPR, I feel like the other guys are going to get more touches. So I feel like my gut would be Gage.
Yeah. I would go Gage. Davante Parker, Gage, or Landry. Is that what that said?
Yeah.
God. Well, it's Landry.
So Landry's your PPR, right? Because he'll definitely get what 8, 10.
He's going against the Washington football team, right? Isn't he?
Yeah, but Landry against it was the first one. Actually, he did better against Baltimore, but he did nothing against Cincinnati. Only 3 targets.
Yeah, that's
so. I don't honestly. I wouldn't put any faith in Baker Mayfield at this point. So I probably would stick with Davante.
Gage.
Back to Tom's main point, Davante's the guy. Gage is third, and granted, the Falcons score enough points and throw the ball enough that's
to all of them.
But Davante just is the guy.
Yeah.
Much more upside. Yeah.
So cartoons and cereal. He says, "Sup boys? Thoughts on Cup and Galladay? I got both for this week."
Is Galladay going to play?
Yeah, I don't know.
If Galladay plays, I start him.
Yeah, you're probably right.
So even though Cup was
Detroit's at Arizona though. Detroit's at Arizona, so it's probably going to be a shootout. And they always throw anyway. What's his name? Always throws anyway. So.
Yeah, if Galladay plays, I'm playing him. But Cup did well. I had both of those players last year, actually. Cup did well. Towards the end of the season, they switched up the game plan, and Higbee's stealing all his touchdowns away.
Yeah.
But I would definitely
And the Rams play the Bills this week too at Buffalo.
Yeah. And if he's saying that, if he's trying to decide which to play, I think he'd have to go Cup. I mean, who knows how to go off of someone's injury? Are they putting him in the game plan so that he's part of the game plan and he's kind of a deception to the defense? Is he actually ready? Is he fresh? Is he? I don't know. I think there's too many questions. With Cup, I think the only question is does someone steal his touchdowns? And that does happen a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Cup is going to guarantee you at least 10 to 12 fantasy points, and then if you throw a touchdown on top of it, then what you got? Yeah. So I mean that's probably what I would go if you were just if he's trying to decide between which one of those.
Gotcha. All right. So Tom, did you think anything about your big surprise or anything, player?
I liked that James.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
The what?
Jameis.
Jameis. The letdown player?
No, Connor. Came back and played and did well.
Yeah, I didn't even know he was supposed to be back. I thought they lost.
Sorry about that Benny pick up, Jenny.
Did she end up getting him?
I think so. Didn't she get him?
I thought Chip was the one that got him.
Oh, okay.
And he was wanting to know if he should play him, and I think we both were like, "Yeah, that'd be good." I didn't know James, and then I was watching the game. I was like, "What the hell is he doing here?"
Oh, that's right. He asked me when we were putting in the deck, Michael, and I was like, "No, I think Connor's going to play." And Connor, not only did he play, he
played well.
Yeah, and he played just almost all the snaps. So.
Well, I gave up Hopkins for Miles Sanders, due to me having only Derrick Henry and James White, so I'm starting both Cup and Galladay.
Ooh,
well,
gotcha.
Giving up Hopkins for Miles Sanders. I don't know. Well, Miles Sanders did do really well.
And it's different in that league probably versus ours probably.
don't know.
Yeah, I'm interested in what I mean because James White just kind of became this starter. I know he's still more of like a receiving back, and Devontae Freeman just signed with them, so he will probably. That's actually an intriguing one. I think if anybody's trying to hit the waiver wire, if you didn't know, Devontae Freeman just signed with them.
Giants.
So, yeah. And if he fills any type of role that Saquon did, you're probably getting a pretty decent fantasy player. And he's always been good in the past. I know he's had a rough past.
Isn't he older though? I mean, I might be wrong.
There.
So and there's Gallman who
he was the Atlanta guy, right? Wasn't he the Atlanta guy?
Yeah.
I would play him.
Older.
I would play. I wouldn't play Davante Adams first week though. I'd want to look at him first.
Davante Adams.
Sounded like cartoons and cereal needed a running back.
Yeah, that's what.
Not Devonta Adams, Devonta Freeman. Did I say Adams?
Yeah.
Yeah, Freeman. No, I wouldn't start Freeman because I mean you got Gallman still there, and who's the receiving back there?
Well, that's James White.
No, James White's New England.
No, he's with them now. He's with that's where right, isn't it?
James White?
Yeah, I think James White is there, and he's like the projected starter. But let me see. Let me make sure I'm not lying. I know he is with New England. Who is? It's the guy that he used to play for Dion Lewis, maybe.
Yeah, that's him.
Okay.
It's the other New England.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was getting them confused.
Yeah, James White. I don't know James.
Okay, so I'm with that. Yeah, so he had James White, who is the new. Okay.
So he needed to play Henry. Yeah, and Sanders is why he turned out.
Got it. That makes more sense. I'm with it now. Yeah, because James White's basically doing nothing so far this year.
I don't know if I'd let go of Hopkins.
I know. I might just stink at running back for a week or two.
Yeah.
That's tough.
I picked up Mike Davis in one of these leagues, and I don't think he's going to be Christian McCaffrey by any means. But if he is half of Christian McCaffrey, I just got to steal. But granted, it's only for a few weeks, but I don't know.
Melvin Gordon or T.Y. Hilton for flex. T.Y. hadn't been getting his, has he?
No, probably not. I don't.
But that can't be either. Rivers gonna find him, right?
Is he? I mean, that's what I'm thinking. Like Rivers isn't really that guy. Like he's never been like the deep ball guy.
Yeah.
He does have 14 targets though, so maybe they're just not on the same page yet.
We had Keenan and Mike Williams, and he did work with them right last year. So he's got to find Hilton. He can't just be.
I think and if that many targets, I think something's got to start coming to fruition there. Yeah. I really do. I really do.
So there's a chance.
Yeah.
You're right.
Matchups make a difference sometimes. No, 100%. That's great. You guys, thanks for the participation out there too. This is awesome. I love having the comments out there because that makes us think a little bit too. And tell your friends, have everybody come. Man, this is awesome. I love having this. So, yeah. All right, let's see where we are now. Tom, did you ever give us the?
I said James Conner, but I didn't.
You did.
I'd be on.
But yeah, cartoons. I think Mike Davis is going to be. Like I said, I don't think he's going to be Christian McCaffrey because I don't think he's that talented. But I think if you have him at your flex, I think he's going to be just fine. He's got to do like the Panthers. It's not like Teddy Bridgewater can just go out there and do the whole thing. I mean, the only thing I do worry about, and I think something to keep an eye on with the Panthers, is I think Curtis Samuel will take a lot of carries. Even though I know he's a wide receiver, but I think in college he even had more rushing yards than receiving yards at wide receiver.
I dropped him to go get the other guy.
I was trying to read because I kind of had this gut feeling that I think Mike Davis will be the quote unquote starting running back. But I was thinking Samuel, but I went and read like his fantasy note, and they basically said to cut ties with him now. But I think that might be someone you keep an eye on.
He had carries, hadn't he?
Yeah. In last game, like when McCaffrey went out, I think Mike Davis only had 1 carry, right? And Curtis Samuel had 4, if I remember correctly. So
Oh, that's gonna
Mike Davis caught. Yeah, Mike Davis had one rushing attempt, but he caught 8 passes. So I think he's going to fill that void for McCaffrey, which is really good for, especially for PPR leagues. And I think that's what this guy plays. So Curtis Samuel did nothing as far as receiving last game, right? Yeah, he only got 5 fantasy points, so obviously it wasn't that great. But I just think Curtis Samuel is someone to watch with McCaffrey out.
Oh, we never did answer Seth's question. Him or Melvin Gordon?
I would say Ty.
You would take a shot on him?
Well, he's getting the targets.
Well, Melvin Gordon's getting his touches too.
Yeah, that's true.
So, matchup.
I mean, yeah.
I think I'd go Melvin.
Would you?
Yeah.
Me too.
Would you?
Yeah.
Who's Melvin playing against?
Bay. Which isn't a terrible defense, but I mean,
no, they're a good
I don't
defense.
know. I just think once again it kind of goes to like he is the focal point of that offense, in my opinion.
Yep.
Especially with no quarterback.
No quarterback and their best receivers out for the year now.
Yeah, that's true.
And now it's Judy time. Now mom gets to reap those benefits.
Team out of nowhere. Here we go. Thoughts on starting Jeffrey Wilson Jr. this week in a start 11 as my flex 5. Lost Barkley, Sutton, Campbell, and Rigger.
Oh my gosh.
That's a terrible.
Yeah. He got hit hard.
First of all, we'd like to say a prayer for you.
Hey,
Let's
Papa.
Hey.
Let's start with dang, that's a big hit. Jeffrey Wilson Jr. I'm sorry, I'm ignorant to that. Who is that?
I think that's the guy that's going to replace Mustard or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I don't know much about him as like a player athlete. I don't know if he's as talented as Mostert, whatever they call him. But it's intriguing in the sense of like if he now is the starter that's getting the bulk of the carries, I don't see why not. I think it's worth taking a chance. And who do they play? Someone terrible, right? The 49ers, Giants.
Are you talking about they start 11 players?
Yeah, they play the Giants.
All offensive players. If they're all offensive players and he's starting 11 players, Flex 5 is pretty down on the.
Yeah, I think that's a good plug. I think that's a good pickup.
Yeah, because he's got your Flex 5 spot's going to be you're looking for upside, right?
Yeah, I think that's ton of upside right there.
Yeah,
a running oriented offense, or like not oriented, but just they're more small ball and take the big shot to Kittle. I like that a lot actually.
Thanks much. Needed prayers. It's at least in Dynasty, and I'll have these players all next year, so that's good.
Sure.
Cartoons and cereal. He says 2 flex league I'm in, by the way. So I also got Keenan Allen with both Kupp and Galladay. So I didn't really think of a loss and giving away Hopkins for a need.
I would have tried to trade Keenan Allen for Miles Sanders. I'm not saying the other guy would have done it necessarily, but
no,
that's what I would have tried first.
They probably wouldn't have done it, but
this is what I was talking about before with you, Michael, is like it depends on what your need is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So do you consider trading somebody like Hopkins or Kamara or somebody like that? You do if you need the need and your bench is strong, and this guy's bench was strong, he's going to start that, but he needed a running back, so he had to get a running back. So he took his best food and
I like that. That's not too terrible. How is Keenan Allen doing this year without homeboy throwing to him?
Meh.
Yeah, well, 18 targets, so that's good. Did he do well? Oh, and he did well last game, and that's when Herbert played most of it, or all of it. I think he started last game, didn't he? I think
Tyler.
So he's starting again. That's
he's getting more than Kupp.
10 targets, 7 for 96. So maybe he And I don't know why you wouldn't like Keenan Allen if you're a rookie or young quarterback, but that actually, that could be really good. So yeah, he might not feel that too much without Hopkins.
There you go. All right, let's see here. We had the "I told you so" moments from last week.
Yeah.
Chipper did the "I told you so" on Barrow or whatever.
Yeah.
So there you go. He
And
did.
I'll be honest. I don't know if what's their name? Cincinnati will win a lot of games. They probably won't. But he seems to be. I mean, he does not look like a rookie quarterback out there. Like he seems to be on point.
He's going to have his moments, but you're right. He did look good.
Yeah.
Yep, for sure. And I did not get Cam crying, so I thought I would, but I didn't. Actually, he'll have a good test this week. I think Barrow will, because they're playing the Eagles. So
yeah, at this point, they kind of need to win that to kind of show, or like at least gain confidence that they are going to be a mid-tier team. Because I think if you lose to the Eagles the way they're playing, that's not a good look. What was my "I told you so" moment?
I don't even remember. I'd have to go back on. Hold on, another one. Do you think the Browns D will get positive or negative points? The Browns. Cleveland plays the Washington football team, so they might get some positive points.
Yeah, they'll be all right.
They'll be okay, but
I don't think Washington is good. Washington beat Philadelphia, and this is kind of 2 weeks in a row now that we see that Philadelphia is not very good right now.
Yeah.
And it's kind of 2 weeks in a row that we're seeing that Washington doesn't suck as much as the Jets.
Right.
Or Cleveland.
Yeah.
He said, "Thanks, y'all. That's all I needed. Y'all seem like a fun, chill group. Shout outs to you." Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Yeah, we just love to have fun and talk football. So, and we always did it all the time, kind of like whenever we had family get-togethers and stuff like that. So now we just incorporated into live with you guys out there. So come back and tell your friends. I think it'd be a lot of fun. We'll have you on. I don't care. I love having people on talking this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, thank you for that shout out. Appreciate it. All right, so I don't remember I know my "I told you so" from last, but and I didn't get it right. So how about a mark my words moment for next week? Anybody got one?
Shoot, not off the top of my head.
No. Mark my words that Kansas City and Baltimore is going to be a great game.
Wow, really going out on a ledge there.
I am going out on it. Oh, look at there. Just subscribe. Thank you, man. Just subscribe to my channel. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's awesome. That is cool.
Good stuff, cartoons.
Yeah, I appreciate that. No, I think I can't think of one that's going to be I can't think of a game even that's going to be a mark my words moment that like an upset. I'm trying to think of maybe an upset or something too. New York Jets beat the Indianapolis Colts. How's that?
That's not going to happen. Washington might beat Browns though. Mark my words.
Texans beat the Steelers. How about that?
Ooh.
I'm not. Are you marking your words on that one?
I am not. I'm not marking my words. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what. I don't know if I have a mark your word or mark my words. Maybe I can say the Packers will go 3-0.
You should let us know your
Sunday
question.
night they'll beat the Saints.
Oh yeah, that's right. It is Sunday night. I love that. All right, Mark your mark. So mark your own words.
Okay.
They are your words. They are your words. Go ahead. So the Raiders 2 wins in a row. That's what you're going to say, right?
Let's see. Well, who's Kansas City playing next week?
Ravens.
Kansas City are playing Ravens on Monday Night Football. Huge game.
I know it's a pick, but I'm pretty confident that they're going to lose. I think that the Ravens are going to I think it's going to be a surprise. So mark my words. I think that the Ravens are going to take it.
It's at Baltimore. It's
I
at Baltimore. So,
yeah.
Mark,
Kansas
a
City.
little caveat to that. Do you pick them to cover? It's 3.5 to Baltimore.
Oh yeah,
Pick them to cover that.
sure. I don't think. I think.
I don't know. I might pick Baltimore, but I don't know if I'd pick them to cover.
really, you think it's going to be closer than that? I mean, it was 3-point game last time against the Chargers.
Yeah.
I mean, last week. So,
But yeah,
that's a good one though. We're going to hold you to that one. We'll see how well you do with your work. No, that's fun though. This is what makes it fun. I like it. It means nobody gets
Philly
hurt.
game. Did you? Who did Philly play last week? Last weekend?
I don't think they played anybody. They showed up, but I don't think they really played.
I'll get a kick out
LA
of it.
Rams. LA Rams.
Okay.
They played.
The Philly fans, even though there's no fans there, right? They still piped in booze for the Philly offense. Well, I couldn't believe it. They really did. I said, I'm imagining. They piped in the booze for their own offense. It's so Philly. It's so Philly.
That's so Philadelphia.
True Philadelphia. You got to boo your own team, right? They piped it in. I just thought that was my fun thing from last weekend.
That is awesome.
It was really funny. It was hilarious.
It's not awesome, but it is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
That's funny.
and by the way, Seth, I think out of all your questions about defense, I probably would pick the Browns this week. And thanks for stopping by and subscribing and all that. So he said he's got to go, but we appreciate you stopping by, Seth.
Seth, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. That was awesome. Yes. Okay, so here we go. Jacob Piccolo. I'm sorry. Jacob Piccolo. Start 2, Davante Parker, Deontay Johnson, OBJ, Cup, standard.
Standard.
Are Goddard and Ingram part of this question, or is that must be a separate?
Oh, the second one?
Tight ends.
Goddard
Right.
and Ingram. Yeah.
Yeah, that must just be talking about his tight end. Okay, so I guess we'll address the first question first. I think
So
Deontay, you have to start.
Deontay and Cup. I would go here.
So Deontay, who's he? I'm sorry, I'm ignorant again. You know.
That's
Pitt-
the
that's the
Steelers. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes, he is the leading receiver for Pittsburgh right now.
Is he
Yeah.
really?
I think you have to.
Yep.
To be honest, I probably would go Deontay and OBJ.
Yeah.
I mean, OBJ is getting the targets.
he
It
is.
kind of worked out a little bit last week.
And they
Luckily,
played
they scored.
Yeah.
I think I'd have to go those two. But then, I mean, God, that's if you have to choose between those four, you got some pretty darn good receivers.
But didn't he get hurt though, or something? I thought he was questionable or something.
Who? OBJ?
Deontay,
Oh, I don't know.
because he's the one that got all those points last week, right? The 30 points or whatever he got.
He did. He is questionable. Let's see what it says. Didn't practice Wednesday. I mean, yeah, maybe that's worth monitoring. I mean, obviously, if he's not going to play, I wouldn't start him. So if he is hurt, I probably would go Cup after that.
Cup over, yeah.
Javante. But once
Yeah.
again, I mean, that's four. If you're choosing two out of those four, like that's kind of a win-win.
Yeah, but Deontay Johnson is my sure bet for on that one. And
Yeah, we
not,
were just saying if
That's
he's
because you're a Pittsburgh fan, though, Tom.
not just because.
I'm just kidding.
I am. I think Cup would probably go Cup because OBJ he finally showed up after a year and a half, but I'd want to see it more than once.
Yeah, yeah. And
It's a good bet. Goddard or Ingram?
he said it is a separate question. So Goddard or Ingram?
I think you got to go Goddard. I mean,
I know because Philadelphia's not freaking playing Ertz. They're not. He's not.
Yeah.
Something's up there. The chemistry, something, or management, or something saying don't throw to him or something. Because that's crazy.
I'd go.
You know?
I'd go Goddard. I mean, Ingram, they might have to do something. They have to get the ball.
The only thing I worry about is like a lot of times what you want to get out of tight ends is touchdowns. the goal line
Yeah.
threats.
Yeah.
I just don't know if they're going to move the ball down the field. Like, if you take Saquon out of that, I mean, but then again, maybe with Saquon out, literally Ingram is like he's one of the only targets there.
Yeah.
And I think it was during the Giants game the other day. I don't think Daniel Jones, since he's been a starter, I don't think he's had his top 3 receivers all play. No, his top 3 receivers and Saquon all play in the same
at the same time. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's nuts. So
he said also
Ingram, but
Leonard Fournette, good start.
I mean, I don't know if
I'm starting him because I have to, because I lost Christian McCaffrey.
I wouldn't be afraid to start him. I mean, he's a talent, and they're gonna. And Arians is smart. He's not gonna.
I worry that they're gonna play to that other guy's feelings, and he was there longer. But then again, like you said, Arians really isn't that guy.
Yeah.
I mean, Arians is like. I mean, once again, I think you were like hoping and praying if you're the coach that you can't just go in there and start Leonard Fournette. He just joined the team. Yeah. Then he takes 10 carries for 130 yards. You're kind of like, I think I have a pretty good reason to start him.
Exactly.
But you might put him in the second drive when you keep him in there.
Right. I like that as a start. I mean, I don't know who your other running backs are. I don't know if this is a flex spot or whatever, but I like Leonard Fournette just in general as a starter.
Right. Now, who does Tampa Bay play this week? Oh, Atlanta.
I like this one. Who should I start, Cam Newton or Patrick Mahomes on a non-PPR? And Jacob answers him, you got to go Patty. And he says, what do you mean? He says, you got to start Mahomes.
Yeah, you don't not start Mahomes. You probably the first, the second.
It's tough because he's facing the best defense in the league. But once
again,
I can eat that one. If Patrick Mahomes has a bad game, I can eat that one and move on to the next week.
Yeah.
If I bench Patrick Mahomes and then he goes and crushes Baltimore, I'll lose sleep over that one.
Yeah, I know.
I'm going to eat it, and I don't deserve to be in this fantasy football league. I just bench Patrick Mahomes.
Exactly.
But it is tough.
Seth says out there, Murray or Ryan?
Which Murray, which Ryan?
Well, probably Ryan from Atlanta, the quarterback, and Kyler Murray. And
honestly, I might just run with Kyler. I think that dude's a stud. I might just go with that.
Ryan puts up so much passing yards there.
Yeah, but he's so boring.
That's true. And Kyler gives you Russian PDs too.
Completion too. So Ryan does work, and the yards for running backs and quarterbacks are the same on the so. In our league, they would be right about equal. In a standard league, I would probably go Kyler because he's got those rushing yards.
Yeah, and if you're gonna watch the games, I don't know if you're gonna watch. If you're gonna watch the games, go with Kyler. He's so much more fun to watch.
Yeah.
If you're not, then I don't know. That's kind of a tough. Once again, I think you're in a good situation. That's a win-win, in my opinion. I don't think you can go wrong with that.
Here's a tight end for you. Waller.
It'd be hard to sit Waller
I think.
After seeing him last week,
he says I don't like Waller due to him going against a top 4 defense in New England. I can see Gilmore on him, though we saw him get snagged on. Metcalf is built way different than Waller, though.
But I don't know that you don't want. I mean, I know Waller's more established, but I don't know if
the targets.
I still think I want Gilmore on Ruggs.
Right, and you're fast. Yeah, you're speed.
Yeah, he's not the established receiver, but I mean that dude is, insanely talented. I don't think Gilmore's going to follow Waller around, and I think for that reason, I'd have to go Waller. And then right now, it feels like Hurst. I don't remember how he did last week, how he ended up, but Hurst seems like the 4th option on that team.
Yeah, they're not using them. They're not
Julio, Ridley, and Gage, and then I feel like Hurst is like the last option. And he got that touchdown. So he went 5 for 72 at the touchdown last week. I personally would go Waller. I mean, God, the dude's just insane.
Mark, I know you're a Vegas team at your team and everything. I'm gonna tell you, this is to me, this week is a kind of a true litmus test when you can play in New England at New England like that. And I know they don't have fans and all that kind of stuff, but I still think this is going to be really a test because all those things that they're just describing and
Yep.
what they did to New Orleans at home, I get it. First, big stadium, new stadium, all that kind of stuff. Now you're going to New England in hostile territory.
Mhm.
I'm real curious to see how if they pull this one off. Seriously, now I guarantee you open some people's eyes. I think you will, as the Raiders.
Great point.
If they pull this one off, hello Buffalo.
Hello, Buffalo.
Well, I think I said it.
Another division winner in that division.
In that division.
I said it on last week's show that I thought the Raiders were about a year or two away. But to be honest, if they, to your point, they did it against the Saints. If they can do it again now, maybe that timeline is a little sped up. Maybe we're here. Maybe we're living in that.
Well, I mean, and I don't think 2 weeks is going to be a true test, but you can see that the pattern's on the right track, and away game like that, that's a big deal. That's a huge deal. You wanted your first game in a brand new stadium. You wanted that to be a win. You wanted that. You know what I'm saying? You were doing everything you could to make that happen. Let's see if they have that same drive.
Davante Parker's coming up a lot on the flex things, isn't he?
No, he is, isn't he?
Davante Parker and Antonio Gibson, I would go Parker on that one, not because of the talent, because Antonio Gibson is really good, but he's just not getting the opportunities. Davante Parker will get his. I would put Parker in.
Just more targets. Is that what you're saying, or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, I would hold on Antonio Gibson until I saw the usage. But if they give him more usage, he can do something with it. And I mean, it might happen this week against the Browns. Who knows?
I'm pretty big on Parker. I know, obviously, like Tom said, he's come up in a lot of these questions. So I think there's question marks around him. But I'd be starting Davante Parker with confidence for now. I mean, until Miami just gives up and starts tanking. But then he might even still get his. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. He started slow the first week, right? I think he only got I don't know, 5 points or something, but
yeah, who did they play week one? They played that was against New England, so he probably was getting probably Gilmore on him all game. So
that's true.
That's tough.
Let's see. I traded Stafford for Juju. Is that a good trade? Not if you ask Tom, because he's a Pittsburgh fan. No, I'm just kidding.
So he got Juju? Or traded
Stafford for Juju. Yeah, he got Juju.
I think absolutely.
I'd rather have Juju on that one because Stafford can be replaced a little easier than Yeah.
Juju's he's a top receiver. Not to say that Stafford isn't, but like to your point, you can find comps to Stafford.
I feel about that. Yeah. Yeah, you could feel a comparable spot with Yeah,
you can fill that in. Okay, so Seth says, do you think I should play James Robinson, or do you think he is, what is that? Neiman Hines? Neiman Hines? And he blew up last week, and then
I think that Jacksonville is going to stick with James Robinson. I actually tried to go out and get him this week. He was still on our waivers last week. I think somebody went and got him, didn't they?
I think it was Jenny. I think Jenny got him, didn't he?
Because he's the guy.
Chipper did. That's right. Chipper did.
He's going to be the guy. So no, I don't think. I think Nyheim Hines was a fluke that 1 week. Nyheim Hines might still do. Now I didn't see the hype with all the Nyheim Hines pickups and stuff, but I think James Robinson's the real deal, though. I feel good about that.
The only reason I was hyped about Hines is that he got 8 targets and 8 receptions in week 1. Yeah. And then their starter got hurt. I thought all that meant was that he was going to get even more targets.
Then he
got 1.
Yeah.
I thought he got 0 in the last game. Did he get 1? Oh, okay.
Yeah, 1 target, 1 reception for 4 yards. So, I don't even know how to predict that. That's a good point that the guy brings up. But, James Robinson, I don't think because he's actually the starting running back or like the guy they're going to, he at least guarantees you each game he's gotten 16 rushes. So at least he's relevant. I didn't know they were going to bench Hines after performing well in 1 week, but that's probably a safer bet.
Should I drop Hayden Hurst or TJ Hawkinson for Mike Gesicki? He says, I don't know his name. I'll laugh my ass off. Or just keep them both.
Gesicki? Is that how you say it?
Gesicki.
Gesicki.
Just call him Mike. Just call him Mike.
I would hold on to Hayden Hurst and TJ Hawkinson, no question. Gesicki's going to be a flash player. He might get you 2 or 3 touchdowns in a week and then not show up for a couple of weeks. He's touchdown only. I would definitely – well, I mean, they kind of all are, but I would hang on to Hurst and Hawkinson for sure. I like
Hawkinson a lot.
Yeah.
I think Stafford has always loved tight ends. Once again, Hawkinson is going to be reliant on touchdowns to pop off. But even last week, without a touchdown, what did he get? 10 points, 4 for 62. So if my tight end's getting me 10 points on a non-touchdown week, I'm good with that.
If your tight ends give you 4 receptions, and Hurst, you said earlier, had 5 or 6, then
Yeah.
And Gesicki might get targeted one week. It'll all depend on the matchup and whoever. Yeah. I mean, Fitzpatrick is not super consistent on who he likes, except for Davante. That I've done so far. I'd have to check the numbers on that, but yeah.
Do you think Dalvin Cook will still be good even with how bad the Vikings are playing?
They do suck.
They are playing bad. Yes. They lost to Indy pretty badly, and they lost to Green Bay. Not badly, but they scored some points against Green Bay. Scored 34 points against Green Bay, but Green Bay had the highest points of the whole week that first week. So, yeah.
Dalvin Cook is very talented.
Yeah.
Super. I mean, I'm a little biased being a Florida State fan, but I think Dalvin Cook, I mean, because to be honest, like in weeks that they scored 11 points last week, and he's still, in our league at least, got 16 fantasy points.
Yeah, that's pretty strong.
Think about if they go and score a normal amount of points. I mean, even when they scored 34, he got you 22. But once again, that was an unfortunate game because they were passing that like whole time because they were down so much. So if they have like any good games throughout the year, I mean, ride Dalvin.
He's not a run-only guy either, too. So if you have a PPR league, he's definitely valuable. I mean, he's got a floor. Yes, I would trust Dalvin Cook.
There you go. I get Jonathan Taylor, and I give Chris Carson. Great, good, okay, bad, or horrible trade. I don't know if I'd give Carson this soon. Would you?
I think
Taylor has more upside. I mean, I like both those guys a lot. Chris Carson's did great these last couple of weeks, but I think Jonathan Taylor, you just haven't seen as much of him, but he's definitely got the upside.
Yeah, so Jonathan Taylor, I actually tried to trade Scooter for him, and he declined my trade, which I kind of was ready for, but I think that is incredible. Like the only reason I would say that's not a great trade, and I'll only give it good, is because I do think Chris Carson's going to be relevant the rest of the year. Yeah. So it's not necessarily like you got rid of somebody average and got someone great, but I do think that's an improvement. And I think the way
Rivers uses his running backs, I swear to God, you're going to get over 15 points in our league or whatever. You're going to get.
Taylor's one of the reasons why Naeem Hines disappeared, I'm sure.
I know, that's the thing. Like I knew Taylor. That's why I tried to trade for Taylor. I knew that he was going to get the majority of Mac's workload. I just didn't think it was going to be all of it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yes, I do think in the future Hines will steal some like third down running backs, like he'll
be as valuable as he was last year, which was not that much.
Right. But Jonathan Taylor, I'll take that all day because I think, like even like last game, and I think Chris Carson ended up catching one of the touchdown passes, but Russell Wilson threw for 4, and that's probably it's going to be Russell's incredible. Probably the MVP favorite right now. He's got weapons. Like I think Chris Carson is just in part of a good offense where the Colts, Jonathan Taylor is going to be your guy if he can keep at this rate.
Chris Carson's the guy, though. I mean, you're good there.
Well, he's the guy as far as like the running back. Like he's going to start, but I'm just saying they have talent out there at wide receiver. And then Russell Wilson, he might even run some in himself. And I feel like he might get vultured a decent amount. Because I think actually Chris Carson, 3 of his touchdowns this year are receiving touchdowns. So I don't know that that's like sustainable necessarily for him, but
as long as they keep getting 35 and 38 points against everybody that they're playing, I mean, he's going to be
3 touchdowns from receiving, none from rushing. So I don't want to say that worries me about Chris Carson, but I that's why I think Jonathan Taylor's a lot better going forward.
Yeah, he'll get both. Hurst or Hawkinson is the question.
Yeah.
I would feel good about Hurst every week, actually.
I'd probably go Hawkinson because, well, actually, I would keep an eye on Galladay's status. If Galladay is playing, you got to think that takes some targets away from Hawkinson.
Touchdowns.
The only thing I worry about Hurst is that he's the number 4 option. I know they pass like 700 times a game, so 4 options might be a thing. But if they don't go
last year, and Austin Hooper went off, so it's
true. But I felt like Austin Hooper was the number 2 that he liked last year.
Yeah.
You think behind Julio and Calvin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anybody behind anybody. I think they all got the same amount of points.
Yeah.
I mean, they all got 15 points, so whatever.
But even having said that, there's a chance the Lions go and score 10 points. I don't think there's any chance that the Falcons score 10 points. They're going to score 40. They might lose by 20 after scoring.
That's true. Do you think Andrews will have a bounce back game? He was the reason I lost last week.
I think they're going to have to pass. So, yeah.
He better. But once again, like
who do they play?
Kansas City. That's the Monday.
Oh, that's that's right. That's the Baltimore. Yeah.
I mean, probably the theme here is tight ends to pop off are reliant on touchdowns where receivers aren't as much. So, I mean, Andrews is kind of a toss up in the sense of, but I mean, I think last week was more of an anomaly. I think going forward, Andrews is going to be fine.
If you look at last year, Andrews wasn't super consistent, but he ended up like tight end 3 or something. Hey, baby.
I have a burrito in there that you can have.
Say hi to Lucy.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Lucy.
Hi, guys.
Yeah, I think he'll do an average about 15. I mean, seriously, he's going to give you about that many points. I mean, minimum. I mean, in our league, I don't know. Like, I don't know how that translates in the other leagues. Is that pretty close in the other leagues, or do we do something different than those leagues?
It's about the same.
Is it about the same?
PPR.
PPR.
Yeah.
Guys, we're going to start wrapping it up here because it's like 10:30, and we don't want this to go. I mean, we usually go an hour and a half, and we are going an hour and a half. But I tell you what, I love having all you people out there. This is so much fun being a part of it. Being a part of this with us is so cool. Love having everybody, lots of comments today, which was awesome. That was great seeing that. It's a lot of fun. Real quick, we're going to go through these very quickly. Just tell me who you think. It's this week. Miami, Jacksonville.
Miami.
I'm saying Jacksonville.
I'm not putting any money on it.
No money.
Probably Jacksonville. I'd probably get Jacksonville.
All right. And then Chicago, Atlanta. Chicago won last week.
They won first week, too.
I know. 2-0 versus 0-2.
Trubisky, best quarterback in the league.
All right. You going Chicago? Both of you going Chicago? No, Steve went Atlanta. That's right. I think Atlanta, too, because it's in Atlanta. All right. San Francisco Giants. It's at Giant Stadium now. And San Francisco doesn't have a offense anymore or a defense.
San Fran.
San Francisco still wins with their
okay.
squad. You don't need all that to beat the Giants.
I'll be the lone wolf. I'm gonna say the Giants. This is gonna be their win of the year. Only because everybody's hurt. Right? Only everybody's got hurt. That's the only reason why. And it's at Giant Stadium. First home game. No, it's the second home game. Never mind.
That's the second week in a row that they've had to play at Giant Stadium.
I know. Isn't that awful? No.
They're blaming the turf for it.
What about Bengals, Philadelphia Eagles? Bengals. Yeah. I don't know. Who knows, but it's at Eagles Stadium. They got to get a win. I'm going to take the Eagles. I'm going to be the lone wolf on that one. Raiders, Patriots. At Patriots.
I want the Raiders. And they could.
I'll go Raiders.
They did look New Orleans, but
Steven going Raiders?
I'll go Raiders.
All right, I'll take a New England. It's at New England. There's no way I'm going to go against Bill Belichick.
I mean, it's like
sorry, I'm the lone wolf in this. I'm out on my own on these. Titans and Vikings.
Titans.
Titans.
At Vikings, though. Come on. No, I'm just kidding. Titans, me too. Titans, me too. What about the Washington football team against the Cleveland Browns?
Browns.
It's at Browns. Go Browns. All right. I'm not going to ask Tom this one. Houston and Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
At Pittsburgh. Yeah.
All right. So mark my words.
Houston will not win against Pittsburgh.
Sean Watson will be sacked 5+ times.
Oh, okay.
Like
5+ times. There you go. That's a good mark my words. All right, here we go. Rams at Buffalo Bills.
Rams.
At Buffalo Bills. Really?
No.
I'm going Bills. I like Bills.
Michael on this one. I think the Bills.
Bills at home. I think I like this one.
Rams are rolling right now, but so are the Bills. So it's gonna be
Jets at Indianapolis Colts.
Colts.
I just don't think we can. I don't think any week we're going to be able to say we'll be able to go the other route.
I think the Jets are trolling. Like you're just.
That's right. Panthers, Chargers. At Chargers.
Chargers.
Yeah.
Chargers.
Carolina's too not good. Lions and Cardinals.
Cardinals.
Yeah, Arizona's too strong right there. How about Tampa Bay and Denver?
Tampa Bay.
Tampa.
Yeah, you got to take them. Even though they're at Denver, I still think that Tampa Bay wins. I know you don't. Cowboys, Seattle. America's team. Going against
Seattle, unless they can perfect that onside kick and do it.
That's right. If Dallas kicks an onside kick, Seattle will know what to do.
Mark my words.
That's right.
Dallas will not be successful with another onside kick.
The rest of this year, this season. Green Bay at New Orleans. New Orleans is fighting after a loss. They're going to be fighting and trying to make a name for themselves. Huh?
Is Michael Thomas playing?
I don't think so.
We should have Moe's sponsor us.
Oh, there you go. Welcome to Moe's. There you go. And then we have Kansas City Chiefs at the Baltimore Ravens. I'm real curious to hear what y'all say on this one. Chiefs, Ravens.
I should go Ravens.
You're going to go Ravens?
Yeah.
Chiefs at it's at Baltimore, so that makes a difference. I know, and it might be their loss. This could be the AFC Championship game right here. It could.
I think Kansas City wins that game.
Oh wow! So somebody's going to be a lone wolf out here. I think that, or both of them are 2-0, right?
Yeah. And just King Kearns, I know you asked that while we were in the middle of our predictions, but I don't think I'd give up Edelman, to be honest. I mean, I like Chark, and I know you're getting a 2-for-1, but I don't know. Edelman still feels like that guy.
Who's Antonio?
I think he might be AJ Brown.
Antonio Brown, is he playing?
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know exactly who he meant for Brown, but I don't know. I feel
probably
like
AJ Brown. Yeah. So AJ Brown's hurt, but I mean, I think he's coming back this week.
Yeah. I mean, and then again, it depends. If you're struggling hard at wide receiver, and the 2-for-1 might be good. So,
one more question: should I start Russell Gage over Davante?
I would, because he's on fire.
Yeah,
I love all Atlanta offensive.
Yeah, I might ride Atlanta's offense until one of them shows. I don't know that they'll have 4 consistent guys all year. So, I might ride that.
Is Julio getting the numbers? Is he really getting the numbers?
I know he went over 100 in week 1. Let's see how he's doing.
Ridley stealing all his touchdowns.
True. Yeah, he's not getting a touchdown. Well, yeah, actually, Julio only got 4 targets against Dallas. So, I mean, maybe he's the one that's going to.
I hope he drops off. Because I'm playing him this week against him.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Love it. Good stuff. All right. We're going to wrap this up. That's it. Thank you so much, everybody, for participating. We can stick around here, but I'm just going to end the broadcast. Join us next week. We'll talk the same thing. Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. Come out and join us. We love talking this stuff. Love having you guys in the chat, too. Thank you. Bye, everybody. I'm not leaving. They are.